when you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or even second generation owner, and you are looking at all of the hats that you wear. We wear hats all the time, every single day, our personal lives, our professional lives, and they stack on top of your head. They're visible. You just can't see them here in the frame. But as an owner, you're supposed to start peeling those hats off, like peeling off the layers of an onion over time. Our guest today, Nicole
Elia
of EES, is going to talk about what it's like to take over the family business when you started as a chemist. That really wasn't your plan in the beginning. And then how she manages working with her own personality, which is a little type A like mine, and how you start to peel those hats off so that you aren't doing everything. If you're a road warrior, you're probably used to the same white knuckling it. Well, I do that, she has done that, and we're going to talk about what it takes today to start to peel off those layers, hand those hats off, so that you can do what you do best.
This episode is sponsored by Genesis AEC, Steel Toe Communications, and this episode is also sponsored by Illuminate. Welcome to the breakout moment. I'm so happy that you are here today. Let's talk about what it's like to step into a family firm. Did you have like this growing passion for HVAC and refrigeration as a kid, or like, where'd that come from? I mean, I feel like that's not, when you're in kindergarten, they go, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yes.
You drew yourself as a tech, right?
I drew myself as a manufacturer sales representative. Yes, exactly.
I did not.
I guess in short story, I went into chemistry, so I'm a chemist, and worked in a lab, and about a solid 3 months into my first job, I was like, this isn't for me. Mm-hmm. So for kids at home watching, do the internship.
Yes, try it all on.
Do the internship.
I tell people that all the time. Like, it is perfectly okay to try on jobs like clothes.
Correct.
Early. Mm-hmm. Like, you can do it later, but there's more consequences. Do it early when there's no consequences. Do the internships. Do the unpaid stuff. Volunteer.
Correct. Try
it before you have bills.
100%. Yes.
So, okay.
So, I needed a job, and I wanted to go into technical sales. I like telling a story. I like learning what other people do, what their needs are, and trying to accommodate what we can provide to solve their problems. And my dad just so happened had an opening. Somebody left, and he's like, "Listen, you don't have to stay here forever, but at least you get your sales experience."
Okay. Did your dad start the company?
Yes, in 1988.
Okay.
Yep. So pretty much grew up in the business. I always knew the manufacturers. Some kids earn their allowance money mowing lawns. I earned my allowance money by typing numbers into spreadsheets. So
not a bad skill.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't a bad job because at least I was in air conditioning.
You weren't mowing a lawn or delivering a paper or
the labor
walking dogs.
Yes, it was pretty simple in that regard.
Okay.
So I always kind of knew what my dad did, but I didn't 100% understand the full grasp of it. Mm-hmm. So when I joined the firm and started calling on customers and really learned like why this is important. We sell commercial refrigeration. Why is that important? Because last time I checked, we don't like spoiled milk. So
kind of a need.
We
don't want to like get ice blocks delivered anymore or anything like that.
And it's very interesting because a lot of industries need refrigeration. It could be pharmaceutical, grocery stores, C-stores, you name it, they all need it. And I had the privilege of seeing how some things are made. And I find that's the nerd side of me that just loves to see how things are made.
The chemist in you
comes
out. You're just like,
that's
okay.
That's how that happens. Okay. So
what's the most unique thing that you've seen behind the scenes? Like how it's made episode.
I guess, that's a challenging one. How they put like condiments into bottles.
Okay.
It sounds silly.
It does.
But it goes through a machine that gets hot. It has to be cold or a certain temperature so it doesn't spoil. So, and it's just this, it's a machine, and basically all I was doing is providing cooling for the water or fluid that keeps the machine cold so we can inject like ketchup or whatever into a bottle. That was very fascinating to see how that all goes down. It wouldn't.
But when you're in the grocery store, you don't even think about that.
And it's like, it's not really that cold. You're talking maybe room temperatures, but that metal has friction, so it has a lot of heat. It has to go somewhere.
Yeah, it has to be cold.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so I think that was kind of neat. Like, it didn't really think about it. I'm like, well, it has preservatives in it. Why does it need to be refrigerated?
Right.
It's not.
I wouldn't have thought about that at all. I would just been like, oh yeah, it's just sitting there on the shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sits in my pantry.
Yeah,
so,
and there's machines that's what they do. So I would say that's kind of a neat one. Watching steel get punched, like steel sheets get punched with holes. I mean,
I love the lasers. Yeah. I get just fascinated.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm a dog person, not a cat person, but I still get fascinated by the lasers.
And and then the last but not least, honestly, just packaging in general. It's kind of neat how different things are packaged so that they reduce breakage during delivery. I mean, everybody has a common issues with LTL and I mean, they do their best job they can, but stuff happens. So you have loss of product is a loss of money.
That's true. Okay, so you're, you get to see stuff behind the scenes. You had an interest in kind of diving kind of into the technical sales, and I would say like your chemistry kind of background kind of comes into that. So your dad was like, hey, try it out. Yeah. Okay, so then obviously it moved from there.
Yeah. And then we went into the recession.
Yeah.
So what I learned during the recession is many industries were affected by the recession. Refrigeration was not. It wasn't a stellar year, but everybody was still in business. So so whether people were putting Band-Aids on something or actually buying new equipment, maybe the capital expenditures were less, but everybody needed to keep their equipment online. So I was like, oh, well, this is kind of recession-proof. More or less. Yeah. So that's kind of where I ended up sticking because I was like, well, I have a job. Threat of getting laid off is very minimal.
Just be careful not to say the wrong thing at Thanksgiving, whatever. Yep, exactly. Okay. All right.
And so here I am. The territory has changed over the last 20 years. But now, in running the organization, I could be anywhere in our territory, anywhere from New York City, North Carolina. It just depends on what the business needs at the moment.
Okay.
I consider myself a working manager.
Okay.
I don't just send other folks to do it for me. So that's the control freak in me.
I got it. Okay. So how did did you see yourself staying? Did you see yourself turning into what it is now today?
No, not initially. No.
So you're the accidental entrepreneur, almost.
Correct. I wouldn't consider myself an entrepreneur per se. I think I lack sometimes.
That's imposter syndrome.
Is that imposter syndrome?
Yes.
Okay.
We all have it. Have it.
I definitely look at things differently than other folks that I talk to, for sure.
And what type, expand on that. What things do you look at differently?
Opportunity. Like if somebody's complaining about a problem, I'm like, well, can I fix it?
Yeah.
And if I can fix it, can I make money fixing it?
Yes. Now, see, that's an entrepreneur's mindset. So, see, you have it.
So it's just a matter of whether or not it aligns with our manufacturers.
Right. And what you do.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. But even when it doesn't align with what you do you catch yourself? I know I do. Going like, ooh, how could you fix this? How can you make money off of this?
100%.
Yeah. I have everything that way.
2 business plans of other ways of where, not necessarily business plans, I should say. It would be what we could solve in our industry at one point. But of course, it all comes down to revenue and time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Money, nobody likes to say it, but at the end of the day.
I should say capital, not revenue.
Yeah. It comes down to that. And I always tell people it's money produces options. Don't tell me it's not a motivator, because for me, I'm motivated by having options. I'm not motivated by the money. I'm motivated by the options. But in order to get those options, I have to have the money. Yes. So I think that gets villainized a little too much, that we should, be doing things for, I hate to say it, but like the goodness of doing that. And that is motivating. There are those emotional parts to it, but you still can't make those possibilities happen without capital.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, so now fast forward, mom is also part of the business.
Yes.
Office manager?
Yes.
Okay. And then, dad, and at what point did they come to you and say like, hey, we've got other plans?
I guess about 10 years ago.
Okay.
It was a conversation. They're like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to stay here, or do you want to take over? And that was the conversation, more or less. So it was always, when we had that conversation, then it was like, okay, yes, this is what I'm going to do. I know I could support my family this way. I have invested interest with our manufacturers. I have invested interest with my customers. You
understand the business from kind of the ground up. That's big.
Yes, exactly. And, and it's, my dad built something pretty awesome in my opinion. It's a little biased, but, it was just him and my mom initially. And then now we have, about just shy of a dozen folks, and a line card, a fairly substantial line card. So I call what my dad built was great.
Yeah.
So.
No, my neither one of my parents were entrepreneurs, but my grandfather was. He was an electrical engineer, and I have construction tendencies, mechanical, electrical.
Understand.
Engineerish tendencies, but the timing wasn't right there between him winding down the business, and I was still in high school. But I always think about like, what if, what if that had happened? Because my earliest exposure to business was through his business. And, even just watching, him put together panels. This was before computers. So like custom control panels and, doing the drawings and all of that. And it would I was so fascinated by that as a kid. And I would have wanted anything. I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to be in the kitchen. I didn't want to be helping my grandmother or my mom out with anything. I wanted to be out with him. I wanted to be in the business. That's where the action was, and that's where I wanted to be. So even though, we talk about refrigeration or, electrical engineering, not really sexy stuff.
No, it's not.
At all.
Nobody wants to spend money on it either.
No. No, they don't. But yet it's necessary.
100%.
And you can find there's so much creativity in the quote unquote boring. And that's something that I love about like what we do now is helping find, those stories and helping to tell those stories. Like you're talking about the condiments, like everybody can relate to that. Yeah. Right? Everybody goes like, yeah, I got a bottle of ketchup. I didn't know that. That's fun. That's what get people like bought into something. But yeah, there's a lot of beauty, I think, in the boring. For sure. So they had this conversation with you. Then you were like, yep, this is my path forward. What did that process, kind of look like for you guys?
It's pretty simple in that regard. It's just more of like, a lot of our manufacturers wanted to know, does my dad have a plan?
Yeah.
And he did. Did we have something on paper? No. So it was more of like, whenever he feels he's done, he'll be done. And I mean, my dad still works today, and so does my mom.
Okay. Part-time?
No.
Nope. They're all still there every day. You're like, they're still there every day.
They're still there every day. I mean, they'll take more time here and there, but yeah, no, they're still very active. My dad picks what he wants to do now as opposed to doing everything. I do everything for him now. But I was doing.
You got all the hats.
Yes, I have the hats he was wearing in 2019.
Okay.
And in 2020, I was like, oh, yes, it's my year. I get to make my statement.
And the universe went, ha, ha,
yes.
ha.
And in January, we had this big office meeting. I had this big calendar, and for full effect, a big paper calendar. And we're writing all the stuff in, and we have basically the next 6 months planned from February all the way through July. And on one day, it all went away.
I had the same experience. I had the same exact experience. We were coming off our best year. And I was like, this is it. Like, I started a whole new division. Formally, we'd been doing it informally. Like, I had ramped up all of this stuff. I had this whole plan, and then St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it went away so quickly.
The Irish luck just left.
Yeah.
And I just tore that plan basically up.
So, I mean, honestly, when that happened, so we have a couple services that we utilize outside of our company, because as a small business, you can't always have a full-on HR department. Do you have enough work for that person to have to justify? No. So we have a payroll service that we work with, and so that's one of our contractors. I did heavily rely on my HR rep. And that day, like, I was like, what am I allowed to do? What can I do? What are my options?
And they didn't even know.
Correct. Yeah. And it was basically, and honestly, I when my HR rep actually ended up getting promoted, I cried. I full-on cried.
Her back to me.
I'm like, that's not fair. Why does he get promoted? But I mean, he did a great job, because I mean, it got very personal. It was more of a personal run. It was like more of a friendship, where he didn't know the answers, so we were trying to go through them together and learning what, like, we were deemed a necessary business. So how do I travel? How do I get people to go to the places that are like, why are you here?
How do I overcome this weird...
Do I need a letter? Like, what states require the letter? Can I cross state lines? Because I don't live in the state of Maryland anymore. I live in Pennsylvania. So
that was creepy. I remember that. Yeah.
I on a whim, on that Friday before everything shut down, I brought home a box full of supplies to my house with files that I would probably need. I figured, it'll just be closed for a week.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah. So
I thought the same thing. I thought week 2 most.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So there was a lot of that going back and forth. But I guess I would say, like, I have started to value my relationships with my outsource services, because they do provide a huge value for us to be successful. But I don't really necessarily have enough to have my own person on staff.
Yep. And I think that's an important point, because a lot of small businesses, medium-sized businesses even, you can't justify keeping it in. You just can't. Yeah. They don't understand. Even with the technology, there's this misnomer, like, kind of idea right now that the tech can reduce headcount, which it can, but it can replace. And it's like, no, not really.
Not always.
You still got to know what you're doing.
Somebody needs to
manage it and bring strategy. It's what you do.
Correct.
And so I always explain to people, it's like, you're not your own car mechanic for a reason.
Right.
You take your car to the mechanic because you do something else for a living. Right. You know, you don't fix your own appliances in your house most of the time, or at least I hope you don't. If you're related to somebody who does, I feel your pain sometimes. But yeah, you hire in experts because that is their deep expertise, just like people hire you for your deep expertise. Correct. So if you can't afford to hire in a full marketing department, a full HR department, a full accounting department, like all these back office systems, it is way more cost effective to send it out.
Correct.
What you shouldn't be sitting there and going and doing is saying, oh, that's a salary or something. One person can do what 5 or 6 people can do.
I mean,
no.
But finding that person, that unicorn that is willing to do all 5 jobs
and keep them,
that's a needle in a haystack.
Yep. That's almost impossible. And you're a smaller business, so how are you going to compete?
Right.
Because we can talk about creative benefits and things that you can do as smaller teams that larger companies can't do, but there's a lot we can't touch
Correct.
really as small firms, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Talent retention and recruiting.
Talent retention is tough. I mean, we've been very fortunate where when we've had new hires that we've been able to retain them for, I mean, my outside of my mother and father, our longest employee has been with us since the late 90s.
Wow.
And then I started in 2005. Almost every single person that's been with us has been with us for several years. And, you know, occasionally we'll have folks leave, but they're all leaving on their own terms.
Right.
So it's been very positive in that regard.
Good.
So I feel like from a culture perspective, we have the right vibe. It's just finding those people to be part of our vibe.
Right. Well, and I think that's just in general. It's, you have to find people that are going to buy into the values, not just have the expertise, right?
Right.
But you're hiring for soft skills, things you can't teach. I can't teach you to be moral.
No.
I can't teach you to be trustworthy.
Yes, 100%.
I can't teach you how to treat others with respect. You have to come in with those skills.
Correct.
The rest I can train.
Yes.
And finding people who kind of fit your set of values, you know, the tribe, the culture comes from that. Right. But if you bring in people that don't buy into that, you're going to fail from the very 100%. Beginning, I think. So, yeah. So your dad gave you all the hats, and then we had a pandemic. Mm-hmm. So of all of the hats, talk to me about what the process has been for you to kind of, well, you and I talked about this a little bit before we started, like kind of peel a hat off and hand it over. How do you know which ones? First off.
Last year was a challenging year. It was a great year. But for me, mentally and physically, it was challenging for me. I was, in 2025, I mean, just for a perspective, I call my car my office.
Mm-hmm. That used to be me until recently.
I think I put about 29,000 miles on my vehicle last year. So it was a lot of driving, a lot of windshield time. So it was like, in December, I was like, what can I get rid of? What do I need to do versus what do I want to do? And then what can I have, am I comfortable giving to someone else? And, you know, like our conversations were like, well, with my mother and father was like, well, your father did all of that before. And I'm like, yeah, but you did his clerical while he was doing that. Like, I don't have you. So it became extremely clear I needed an admin. And it actually, I think last year I was like, I'm going to hire an admin. This is what I think is going to be what we need. And, you know, I wrote a posting, had my mother review it, had my dad review it. Do you really need a person? Like, can we just like bring someone part-time? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really feel like a part-time. And I was at a conference in December, and I was like, January, putting the posting out. I don't have time in December to look through resumes or anything like that.
It's the holidays. Yeah,
so I was like, January. So I posted the first week in January. I had my admin at the end of January. I pulled the trigger really quickly. And fortunately, she was available to start.
Wonderful.
And I mean, and I struggled with like, you get so many resumes, and I did read all of them.
I do too. People always are like, oh, AI screening, whatever. I'm like, no, I actually look at every single one of them because I'm hiring a human.
And I will be perfectly honest, I could tell which ones were written by AI.
100%.
Red flags. It was like the opening summary. Yep. Yeah,
just jargon. Nope, out the door.
Yes.
I can tell immediately.
Yes. I mean, I'm not saying that everybody uses AI in some which way, shape.
Of course.
I use it almost every single day when I have to write challenging emails.
I do just well.
But like you have to edit it. There has to be a human element to it.
That is our take on it as well.
Yeah. So I was able to take 75 resumes and narrow them down to called 5 back. 4 showed up for interviews.
Okay.
So
Narrowed it down from there.
Narrowed it down from there, and had my admin by the end of January. She's been with us since then.
That's awesome.
And
how has your life changed since then?
I'm still onboarding her 100% on what
and
I
yourself
need and myself, because I'm a control freak.
It's okay. You don't have to whisper it. It's safe. I am a control freak too.
I
have trouble asking for help.
So I like some days I'm like coaching myself on my drive into work. I'm like, okay, today I will bring Amber in. We'll talk, and I'm just gonna have her sit next to me, and I'm just gonna say, send this. Send this. So that's what I've been doing. Like, I have to coach myself into releasing tasks.
Yes.
There have been some things we implemented, a new banking system. I had her learn it with me. Normally it would have just been me.
Right.
I had her learn it with me, and she's been awesome at the integration of it. It's a very effective banking system in fraud protection.
Yep. That's
all
huge
the money
right
can
now.
come in, but none of it can go out.
That's the way we like it. All of it coming in, none of it going out.
But she's helped me manage to make sure we make payroll. So
no, but
that was a huge.
It's a learning curve.
Because the business has changed. We weren't as electronic in the 90s and in the early 2000s. Now we are electronic. And almost everything is an ACH transfer. It's not a handwritten check.
Well, and honestly, you bring that up. A lot of our customers are in your space, still sending live checks, and check fraud being as bad as it is. We have really pushed our customers to move to ACH.
Yes.
Or, I mean, even for local ones, we've even had to pick it up.
Yeah.
Because it's become, the fraud has become so prevalent.
Correct.
So, for anybody who's out there who's still doing the live check thing, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when is that going to happen to you?
Yeah.
It is incredibly costly and time consuming
and
labor intensive to deal with.
Right.
Just move to the ACH.
Yeah.
Just move to the ACH.
We still do write checks, but I'd strongly encourage any small business, get with your bank and your small business person.
Talk about what the options are.
Because there are so many programs available for your handwritten checks.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, no, great tip. But I think what's interesting about bringing in an admin, it really, as a leader, forces you to you have to relearn how to lead. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's a completely different mindset from, I built this, I've done the jobs, I've done almost every job in my company that I've built, but that doesn't mean I should be doing them.
Correct.
And it's okay to let go of the wheel. And, you have a ton of windshield time. I've had a lot of windshield time in my life, but I always equate it to driving. I'm like, I need to stop gripping the wheel. So I got to stop white knuckling this. Yeah. And let somebody else drive for a while. So, because if somebody else is driving, I can work in the back. Get more done.
Exactly.
And it's tough.
Yes.
So you coaching yourself like that, it's a whole new skill set. It's not something that is natural.
No, and a lot of, for instance, my mom, nobody really 100% knows all the stuff she does. So
that's job security.
Well, I mean, she just makes things work.
All moms do that.
Yes.
On some level.
On some level, every mother does that.
Yes.
So I was like, Amber, I want you to just document what my mother does.
She like Homer Simpson. She comes out of the bushes. She watches.
So for the first 2 weeks, I think she sat next to my mother at her desk and was writing things down. So essentially, I've been working with a leadership coach. Yeah. And he's encouraged me to create what does everybody do? What is the process? Because obviously, as we bring on new hires and new employees, they're just not going to know. You have to train. So if they have something to reference, then that's part of that time that you don't necessarily need to train. They can read it.
Right.
Or
you're creating structure.
Correct.
Otherwise, you're reinventing the wheel every time.
Every time.
And that's not where you want to be in a business at all.
No,
that's not what you want to be doing. That just means you're just turning on this wheel over and over?
Typically, my dad talks about when he started working, he was hired by York International. He joined the engineering program out of college, and they had a 6-month training program. Everybody went to York, PA. Then they would basically line the engineers up. You're going to go industrial. You're commercial refrigeration. You're air conditioning. You're commercial air conditioning. You're chillers, and everybody. Then you would segment out, and you would learn everything about that product. And this back, when York was a huge company in York, Pennsylvania. Yeah. They're still a gigantic company.
Yeah.
My dad talks about that. He was like, basically, that was the most important 6 months that kind of created his path into refrigeration. He was the commercial refrigeration guy.
Yep. You were the dude.
Yep. So he learned everything about commercial refrigeration. Then they gave him a car and told him to go to New York. So that's what he did. And then he ended up in LA and all over the place. So that's my dad's progression. So from his experience, we created the engineering training program.
That's amazing.
And that I did it, and it wasn't very constructive initially, but over the years, as we've hired new people, that is more or less what we do. Like, especially if they're new to the industry altogether.
And you go.
It doesn't matter if you've been selling widgets for the last 20 years. The only way you can get out of doing the training program is basically it's a lateral move.
Right. Understood. No, I think that's important. Mm-hmm. And, you're putting your spin on it. You're creating 100%. This knowledge base, this IP that can't be easily picked up and taken elsewhere.
Correct.
And that's, it's a service to your employees, but it's also a huge asset to your business. Mm-hmm. So question for you, think about now, it's been, years since that conversation with your mom and dad where they're like, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. And you chose this path. Thinking back to those years, is there anything that you would tell yourself, maybe, let's skip over the pandemic years because they were special.
Yes.
But you would tell your former self, if you had just like a minute to be like, hey, by the way, sometimes for people it's, I wish I had known this, or, it's, I worried about this and I shouldn't have. But is there any past advice that you would give yourself now that you wish you had known?
I guess focus on what you can control. That has been, because I think if you look at the big problem and you're like, I'm just going to drown. Mm-hmm. So you're already setting yourself up for a failure.
Well, you're already drowning then.
Yes. And I mean, COVID actually is what taught that to me, is because there was really not much I could control. No. The only thing I could control was how we responded to it. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll be honest, I did literally act like a 5-year-old kid not getting in their way. Initially, like in the corner, having a full-on tantrum. And I wouldn't say that was the best light of myself. But then I'm like looking at myself, I'm a middle-aged woman. Why am I acting like this?
You're allowed to have those moments.
Yes.
Like I always tell people, like, you can give your worries, your anxiety, whatever label you want to put on it, space. But then after it's had its dedicated space, that's it.
Yeah.
So for me, because I'm like you, I'm type A.
Yeah.
I can get spun up on things that are completely out of my control, or even the things that are in my control. And, when you're running a business, when you are responsible for people, you're responsible for customers, family, bills, it's all on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And especially during that time period, now too, but back then it was even bigger elephant, it felt like. And you can get really, really, really spun up into a tantrum, etc., whatever you want to call it. And something I learned during that time period was, okay, I actually would set a timer and I'd be like, I'm going to give myself however long, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. I can feel it all, be as angry as I want, be as sad as I want, cry, scream into a pillow, doesn't matter. Yeah. I was home. Nobody saw the screaming into the pillow. Yeah, exactly. Right? But then after that 30 minutes, that's it.
It's over.
It's over. I've given it its space, and I have to put it away and move on.
100%.
I still use that to this day.
Yeah, I actually do more of I schedule my so I work out. I didn't always work out, but so I schedule my time, and it's in a few hours a week, and it shuts my brain off. Yeah, if you call me during that hour, I'm not
answering.
No, I literally, the music in the place I go to the gym at is so loud I can't even hear the phone ring.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
It's great. It's great to shut your mind off, and that is my reprieve. It's my break. It's my pause from everything, because it's personal and professional.
Yes.
So that actually is something I probably would have told my younger self, is find that one thing where you can shut your mind off.
Yes.
Recently, my physician, my primary care provider, said, "Do you have a hobby outside of working your kid?" I'm like, "Do I have a hobby?" I mean, and he said that, and he was honest. He was like, women, after they have children, tend to lose their hobbies. So he's like, you need to find a hobby. He's like, 1 hour a week. That's it. 1 hour. Just find a hobby. So I've been exploring hobbies.
Good for you. No, I think that's great advice too, because children or no children, your business is also a kid.
Yes. It's
it is just as demanding, just in a completely different way.
Correct.
And it can eat up your entire world.
Right.
And I think having those, it doesn't have to be, it just has to be something that shuts your brain off, and then you'll know that you found the right hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it's music. It's always been music. Music and movement, but always been music. Yeah. And my brain will shut off completely. Won't shut off watching a film.
No.
It won't shut off reading a book. It won't shut off doing the 10,000 other things around my house, because I love to build stuff or zhuzh things or whatever. I'm always doing a construction project. But none of that will shut my brain off. No. But music will. So when you find something that shuts your brain off, you found the right hobby.
Exactly. So that is one thing I would tell my past self, is find that whatever that is and try to stick with it. Especially when it is so busy,
it's sacred.
You still need that time, because it makes you better.
It does. Stepping away makes you better. People think that when things are tough, you just dig in and dig in and dig in, just throw your shoulder against it more and more, and actually you're just wearing yourself down. You have to step away.
For sure. To
bring it back. So, no, I would definitely tell my past self the same thing.
Yeah, and the other tasks, I would say, that definitely that, and then not to take it so personally. That's a really hard one to say, because you spend most of your waking hours at work.
Oh, and it's family. It's yours. It's personal. It feels very, very personal.
So I would say that is probably the biggest takeaway. Now, I don't like the saying it's not personal, it's business.
I hate that too.
term.
I can't stand that.
But
to me, business is personal.
Yes.
But
I think if you take it in the strodes of the waves of business as it comes, then you're still invested. And yes, there's disappointment. If you're always happy,
you're not doing something right.
You're not doing something right.
You're not trying hard enough. You're not breaking anything. Yeah.
You're just that would be my tips for my past self.
I love that. We would both be saying some of the similar things back to each other. So, well, thank you for being on today. I super appreciate you coming in and, talking about the family business and how a chemist moves into refrigeration.
Right.
So, this episode is sponsored by Genesis AEC. Genesis AEC, where science meets the built environment. As an ENR number 5 ranked firm, we provide a single point of accountability for life sciences and advanced manufacturing. We integrate architecture, engineering, and construction with specialized CQV, asset management, and sustainability to deliver high-performance facilities nationwide. This episode is also sponsored by Steel Toe Communications. Steel Toe Communications builds marketing from the field up, using real projects, real crews, and real results. They help construction owners attract the right people, tighten up their messaging, and build long-term trust with marketing that reflects how their company actually operates, not something pulled from a template. And this episode is also sponsored by Illuminate. Illuminate empowers businesses with AI-driven marketing, revenue operations, and CRM implementation and training to drive sales growth and strengthen customer engagement. If your business is navigating the messy middle and you're ready to grow with purpose, with a partner that understands B2B business marketing and operations, visit illuminate.com to connect.